You are listening to a Faithful Sinners short.
Men's study out there talking about, getting off the sidelines.
Yeah.
Because at some point in time, if you're really truly walking, you've got to get on the field.
Got to get on the field.
Because otherwise you're just watching.
I like a phrase. I think I coined this phrase. I don't think I got this from anybody, but Christianity is not a spectator sport. It shouldn't be. And too many people. I mean, you've been around long enough. You know that. I mean, there's too many people sitting on the sidelines. There's too many people that they go to church on Sunday. That's it.
Right.
That's it. That's the extent of their Christian faith is they go to church on Sundays. Or maybe they don't even do that. Maybe they go to church on a couple times a year or something. Well, guess what? I don't get it. And it's not, this is a conversation we had this Wednesday, is that, you don't earn salvation through works. For by grace are you saved through faith, not of works, lest any man should boast. And so you don't earn salvation through works, but James says that if you have faith and you don't have works, your faith is dead.
Mm-hmm.
Like you should be doing works. If you're truly a Christian, it should be reflected in your actions. You should see that person doing, giving back, doing something.
Well, that's expected, because God even makes it clear that, at the time of judgment, we may not, if we're followers, we're not going to be at the great white throne. We've already kind of surpassed that, but we will be at the judgment seat where we're going to be looking at what do we do with the gifts that God gave us and how did we build his kingdom?
There's two parables back to back. Jesus' last two parables in Matthew before he was crucified. And there's one, the parable of talents, where the rich man gives talents to everyone to use. Talents was a form of money, and he said, "I'm going to give you some, and I want you to use it wisely." And the one servant that buried the talents, he just took it and buried it, didn't use it, so buried it, and so that he gave back the one talent to the master when the master returned, and the master said, how could you? I gave you this talent and you buried it. At least you could have put it in the bank. At least you could have invested it, and you just buried it. And that translates to, if we have talents, we all have talents. We all have gifts that the Lord has given us. If we bury them, we don't use them. I mean, Jesus in that parable, it talked about going to a place where there's weeping and gnashing of teeth. That's hell.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's serious business. That's not like, oh, bad boy. It's serious business. And then the last parable was the parable of the sheep and the goats. And the sheep and the goats were, a very similar situation Jesus said that some of you are going to say, Lord, Lord, and on the judgment day, some people are going to be really in for a rude awakening, because Jesus said, if you saw people in need, and you didn't help them,
right?
If you saw people hungry and didn't feed them, if you saw people and they were sick and you didn't go visit them, if you saw people in jail and you didn't go visit them or care about any of these people, then you didn't care about me,
right?
If you did serve these people, you served me. If you didn't care about these people, you don't care about me. And he ends the parable with, again, these people that didn't care. Weeping and gnashing of teeth. That's hell. That's hell. It's serious business, man.
Oh yeah. Yep. I kind of look at the type of Christian or the type of follower you are is like a bacon and egg breakfast. Yeah. You've got. I want to be the pig in the bacon and egg breakfast, because the chicken, they're involved, but the pig is committed.
Right. Good one. Yeah.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Faithful Sinners. Make sure to follow us and like us on your favorite podcast or social media site, and also check us out at thefaithfulsinners.com.